Hey guys, hope you all had a good Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas. I got scraped today with the Graston technique. It actually wasn't that bad. I thought it'd be a lot worse than it was. But I feel like I do so much hard shit to my body where it's like modalities like that don't really faze me. But I just wanted to try and wrap up the story so far as grounding topics go. We've covered a lot thus far. But there's still a lot that we could dig into with this. There's some really fascinating topics that I want to discuss in future videos. By the way, I think I'm still shadow banned. I don't know exactly, but a lot of people were sending me pictures of this little notification when people would try and find me. It's for all the COVID memes and stuff that I share, and the shadow banning is probably not going to stop just because they're too funny not to share. So for all the people that still find me regardless, I appreciate your hustle. So what have we learned so far? We learned that the Earth is maintained at a slight negative surface potential by the global electrical circuit, so solar winds, ionospheric winds, thunderstorms, with lightning strikes constantly replenishing this pool of mobile subatomic particles called electrons. We learned that these electrons can be passed to the body by electrical coupling, which changes both the external and internal electrical environment of the body. So external electrical environment, what kind of changes? The surface potential of the skin will drop when in conductive contact with the ground. It drops the static buildup of charge that accumulates from chronic insulation and exposure to electrical fields. And that is the natural electrical state of your body. So as far as internal changes, what have we touched on so far? We learned that grounding impacts the membrane of red blood cells, or erythrocytes. There's a protein called skeleoglycoprotein that gives the red blood cell its net negative charge, or zeta potential. And this is important for blood circulation. So these negative charges allow the red blood cells to push each other away, which reduces blood viscosity. This allows the blood to flow a lot easier and has huge implications as far as reducing risk for future cardiac events, as well as reducing hypertension, which was found in a different study. We learned that grounding has a significant impact on blood urea in those that train grounded. Urea is a product of amino acid catabolism, so breakdown of amino acids. So less catabolism and thus blood urea could indicate that there's less breakdown of proteins in the body. Another study found a muted immune response in those that recovered grounded, with reduced white blood cell counts as they monitored the progression of delayed onset muscle soreness. There's another study on this as well that we haven't got to yet, but we'll get there. We learned that grounding influences heart rate variability and improves vagal tone. One of the easiest ways we can assess the status of vagal tone is through heart rate variability. So in a study on preterm infants, they found an inverse relationship between induced body voltage and heart rate variability, and thus vagal tone. So as body voltage went down, which is what happens when you ground, heart rate variability went up and vagal tone improved. So as far as sleep, which is a big one that people notice when trying out grounding before or during sleep, they see a lot of improvement in this area. And a big part of that, going back to what I just said about HRV and vagal tone, a big part of that is your sympathetic nervous system being brought back into balance with your parasympathetic nervous system. So that, along with a reduction in inflammation and perceived pain, and a restoration of circadian cortisol. So if your body is abnormally releasing cortisol throughout the day, then you're not going to be able to sleep well. So in grounded subjects, they found a synchronization of circadian cortisol profiles with the normal day and night patterns of cortisol release, which is highest around 8 a.m. and lowest at midnight. So better sleep. We learned that grounding improves inflammation in a few different ways. One way is through conduction of negative charge into the body, which the body uses to balance reactive oxygen species, or free radicals. But it's not enough to say that grounding is an antioxidant, because antioxidants aren't that effective in vivo, in the body, in trials. So that's right, non-enzymatic dietary antioxidants and endogenous antioxidants don't work very well in clinical trials. And part of that is because they can't circulate through inflammatory barricades, which leads us to our next topic, which is the matrix. We learned that your body has another system that isn't discussed, and it's more expansive and pervasive than any other system in your body, and that's your body's matrix. And this is a massive collection of connective tissue, fascia, cytoskeletons, nuclear matrices. It forms a direct physical contact with every cell in your body, and no other system does this. But the important thing here is that proteins are semiconductors, and the water that hydrates these proteins forms a type of gel or exclusion zone water. So the water that's in your body it's not like bulk water, it's ordered water. Gerald Pollack discovered this. He calls it the fourth phase of water. But water in contact with hydrophilic surfaces will form a type of structure that's very similar to semiconducting substances, crystal lattice structure. So this water in conjunction with these proteins forms a type of battery with electrons flowing through the protein backbone and protons flowing on the outside of this exclusion zone water. So grounding, in a nutshell, charges up this battery and contributes to what's called your inflammatory preparedness. So electrons can semiconduct through this network to areas of inflammation, which makes it the ultimate antioxidant. And this gets into quantum biophysics. If you're interested in that topic, I did make a video about the matrix that you can go watch. We learned that grounding influences bone health and reduces the primary indicators of osteoporosis with the reduction in serum or blood ionized calcium and phosphorus, along with the decreased renal excretion of both of these. You're not pissing them out. So a logical explanation for that would be that there's a reuptake of these into the bone matrix. So I think that's it. I might have missed a few things, I'm not sure. But yeah, there's still a lot left to cover and a lot left to connect. We're looking at things from a very isolated perspective right now in terms of just the individual benefits. And as soon as we cover a few more of those, we can start to draw some bigger connections to the primary chronic non-communicable diseases that plague society today. So thanks for sticking with me. I hope you all have an amazing Christmas and you get to be surrounded by people that you love. And thank you for all the love that you've shown me over the past year since I started this. So, till next time.